Welcome to another adventure in sewing your own clothes. Today's adventure takes us to the realm of replicating. For this adventure, I needed my emotional support sweater, a large roll of paper, too much fabric, and a marker. I found myself in possession of several meters of a gray, stretchy cotton fabric. Originally, I bought this fabric with the intention of making my kids body socks for Christmas. Well, like most plans, this one was foiled by a generous gift. Our eldest received a body sock as an early Christmas gift, so now I have several meters of really soft stretch cotton. Can't return it, can't go over it, can't go under it, gotta go through it and make a sweater. Now, making patterns from my own clothes is not a new adventure for me. I've made shorts, tank tops, even a sweater, although not this one. When making a pattern, I start by tracing the various pieces of my garment onto paper. For the life of me, I can't remember where this roll of brown paper came from, but I'm forever grateful it exists. After I trace each part of the sweater, I add a dotted line for seam allowance. This will help ensure I don't make the sweater smaller than the original. Tracing the pattern can be a puzzle. You've got to fold your garment around itself so you can see the edges of the piece of fabric. Maybe you're really good at this, but for me, I do a lot of shifting, tucking, and folding. The good news is that this does not need to be too precise, since this sweater is meant to fit baggy and loose. I realized after cutting out the back panel in the pocket that I could actually cut the pattern piece in half and label the fold. This will help preserve symmetry and reduce the size of the pattern pieces I need to store. Finally, after tracing and cutting, I have a back panel, a sleeve, a cuff, 2 hood pieces, 2 front panel pieces, a pocket, and a waistband, and a pattern I can use over and over again, which is great because my 10-year-old has already stolen this gray sweater and I need to make another one. The first thing I learned in this project was about using the right thread. I try to use what I've got, so I used some gray thread I had left over from another project. As it turns out, if you use standard thread for stretchy material, the thread doesn't magically stretch. After several wears, some of my seams have ripped open a bit. It's not the end of the world, I just have to be careful pulling it on and off now. Typical of most of my projects, I learned more than one thing. I own a very basic sewing machine, not a serger. I sewed the hood the way I would with linen, and surprise, it came out really wavy on the seams. The problem is that the foot of the machine can't grab the fabric properly, so it doesn't feed through smoothly. A quick Google search gave me the idea of using painter's tape to create friction for the upper foot of the machine. This was both a good and less good idea. It was suddenly way easier to move the fabric through the machine. It wasn't bunching up, and I didn't have to force the fabric to move. Less good? Trying to peel the painter's tape off the fabric. Oh, it was easy to grab and it didn't leave a residue, but it was super easy to leave a little tape behind around the stitches. I'm not mad about it since the washing machine took care of the last little bits of tape. I am very proud of this waistband. It was exactly the right length, and I am a huge fan of the width. It's solid and sits on my hips exactly where I want it to. Truly, the most time-consuming part of this project was putting on and taking off the tape. Singer, brother, we are welcoming partnerships at this time, specifically in the form of a fancy-ass sewing machine. I love this sweater. It's simple, comfy, and fits me regardless of where I am in my cycle. Another successful adventure in sewing your own clothes.